on three, or
You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Littlebug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 244 of another Woodshop podcast, where this week I'd like to share some facts about your Audi. Please enjoy each fact equally. Your Audi never empties his dust collector. Your Audi makes white oak and grain cutting boards. Your Audi puts his hand planes directly on a cast iron. And lastly, your Audi includes chairs in all table sales. This concludes your wellness session. What's going on, boys?
was that just an all-out assault on me the whole time?
Enjoy each fact equally, Dan. Okay?
I want to.
You know,
But you're making it very difficult.
if anyone's confused, go watch Severance. You'll understand it. Or if you've been on the internet this week, you'll get it.
Wait,
Dan,
is that what the Audi thing is? I thought we were talking about belly buttons this whole
not
time.
belly buttons?
I was so
Also
confused.
true.
Dan, what's also funny is I was just trying to think of the most go-to woodworking things, and they all do apply to you, except the last one was, of course, for you.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
How are you guys? I haven't seen you in so long.
It's been a month.
It's been 2 weeks. It feels like a month. Yeah.
It feels
You
like
guys-
a month for me because I did miss a while back. And then
I guess
was-
so you
yeah.
came back for one, and then
Yeah.
Dan's been per diem, basically, working. It's just part-time.
I've been
He's
on call.
No, you've been moonlighting on this podcast.
No. We went over this in the pre-show. I was mainlining.
Mainlining. Yeah, I got you.
Mainlining the podcast.
Well, you know who is mainlining the podcast usually with us? This is a terrible transition. As
Probably
is
our patrons.
our tradition. Yes,
Probably.
our patrons, Dan. Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen. We have 5 new patrons, unless my math is wrong. But if you saw any of my posts this past week, my math is impeccable. So
As long as Sutton's there to use the calculator off
Hey, now.
camera.
I want a little credit, okay? Because I knew the calculations. I just couldn't do the calculation.
You just need a little help, just a little Sutton in your life.
I did. I did and I do. Anyway, back to the patrons. We got 5 new patrons. And they are as follows. Please enjoy them equally. Juan Pierre Kelly.
You,
I hope I didn't butcher your name, Juan Pierre. I think I got that part right at least.
Jean-Pierre.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nick Middlecamp of Nick Middlecamp fame. Austin Ferdinands.
That's the one you struggled on?
That's the one. That's the hard one.
Ferdinand's?
Is a Z at
Possibly.
the end throwing you off?
There's no Z.
Z unit.
And James Beggs. Those
You.
are our 5.
Welcome to the Matt
Nice.
Army.
Yeah. Welcome. Wait, that sounded like something I've heard before somewhere.
Waka waka waka.
Well, that's a Star Trek movie, right? Okay, let's talk about our VIP patrons. The most patrons of the patrons. Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Chris Lamoureux of Homefront Woodworks. Dixie Wrecked of Evolution Custom Woodworks.
Got him.
I forgot we do this.
Yep.
Let's hope they don't go fishing.
Yo Mama's Dado. That's Duffy Woodcraft.
Hey.
Greg Bennett of Windy Acres Works. Greg D'Ambrosio of GTD Woodworks. Greg, I got your Discord notification. I forgot to do the thing. I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe. Damon from BWG Woodworking. Jeremy Claybaugh. Mike Elliott from Woodwork and Weld. Dan got stoned in Colorado. That's
actually
I don't
very
like how accurate that is, but
That
not
is-
in the ways that I would like.
Can't wait to talk about that.
That was Alex Adams. bet you
Brayden
never saw
just got
coming.
it? Is that
just-
delayed? Oh, it was a delayed reaction.
we have so many references that I need a Wikipedia to keep track of all of our stuff.
John Herbolsheimer of Living Laugh Woodworks, new to the VIP list.
Yoo.
Nick Vreeland of
Yeah.
Envy Woodshop.
My man.
Jared LaPuma over at LL Builds. Tyler Booth at Temecula Yard Games. Henry Lutens from Manfreda Wood. Hello, my name is Mr. Abel Merschmidt. Abel Heimerschmidt. Oh, Matthew Abelman.
Oh.
Okay. Justin Frazier over at Frazier Canyon Woodworks. Sarah with Rosie's Woodshop. El Jefe over at Maker's Way. Win Designs. That is Victor Aragama. Barry McCockiner.
Bless you.
Oh,
That's Nick. That's
Barry?
Nick Brim.
Yeah,
That's Nick
Barry.
Brim.
Love Barry.
Barry.
Very nice
Dan.
Did Dan not catch it until now?
Who the hell is this? Dan, dream of kissing Braden on the mouth. That's the name. The email gives me nothing. And
Did you
they've
finish
been
the? Did you finish the VIP patrons and now we're just talking now?
no,
Dan.
still reading.
Dan,
Braden,
So forward.
I would share my
What-
dreams with you.
what you did offer to wine and dine me today.
You don't
Oh.
have the right fish lips. Malcolm over at Bossa Nova Woodworks, crafted with machines. Ed Mancini at Mancini Woodworking. Chris at Chris Will Make. Scott over at Red Leg Custom Woodworks. Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks. And John Grubb from Grubb Will Make, rounding them out.
Nice.
You know,
I
many
hope
of
you
those
enjoyed all of those.
equally. Although some of those are going to be there in May for the MAYker meetup.
Who should I
Now.
throw it to talk about that?
Oh, anyone.
Braden, talk
Braden,
about
go.
the MAYker meetup.
Well, let me tell you.
And
In
you gotta say it like
April,
that.
in
I tell you
April,
what.
we are doing an event. Wait,
Oh.
nope, that's not
Oh.
right. I messed it up.
It's going to be
May. We are hosting a MAYker meetup here in Omaha, Nebraska. May 17th, times TBD, but it will cover both morning time and afternoon time, and maybe nighttime.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so
Depends on what kind of
definitely-
lips you got.
definitely come out for that. It's going to be, we've got a bunch of the shops up in the North O Makerhood that are donating space. Omaha Wood Co. is going to be like our hub, our central point. We've got some of our favorite brands that are going to have representation there. We might have some giveaways. We're definitely going to have some food.
At least a can of Pringles.
Somewhere between one shared can of Pringles and individual Wagyu beef.
Whoa. Whoa.
Somewhere,
and anywhere in between.
somewhere in between those two. Yeah, you know, we
Can
may
we get the
have-
Alpine Inn to cater?
I don't know if they have
Raccoon
bring all the
chicken?
raccoons.
Yeah.
They don't even need a car. They just get a raccoon chain,
Like a cage. They just bring around.
If you come up, that's all on Saturday, but we've got people that are showing up Friday. We've got people that are going to be there Sunday. There may be some other loosey-goosey time. You know,
Mhm.
it's going to be very maker camp, very workbench.
Well,
County.
Without the woods of upstate New York.
Yeah, we're in Omaha. There's a lot of corn, but there's no deep in the woods with no cell service. We have
Yeah,
cell
I was
service.
going to say, you know what we have here? We got cell service.
We just got it. It's super neat. We're really
It's
happy
good.
with it.
It's like
Neato.
1G. It's fantastic. You're going to love it.
We just get all of our images and they just download like line by line by line. That's a throwback reference.
Hmm.
Speaking of line by line by line, what if I
If
wanted to tell
You
you where that I'm going to attend?
if
And-
you want to RSVP,
Oh!
which we ask that you do,
Please do.
make sure
It'll
to
help
go
us.
to what was the domain that I just registered?
MAYkermeetup.com.
No, it was
It's
Uh,
Midwest
mid
Maker, but with a Y, like May, like the month. MAYkermeetup.com. It's also going to be in our show notes.
Just go to the show notes.
Just fill out the form.
MidwestMakerMeetup.com, but MAYker is MAYKER. MAYker.
We just need some basic info from you guys. That's it.
Really, it's so we know
type.
how much non-Wagyu beef to get.
How many hot dogs, hamburgers, or smallmouth bass to get?
So you allowed people to put in how many people will be attending, and we currently have 3 single people coming in and 1.25 person coming.
Who did that? Was that Alex?
Jeff. It's got to be El Jefe.
Well, it should be tied to their name, we have a bunch of other people that told us that they were going before we had the RSVP list, so we should probably send it to those.
We just got this up like what, an hour ago?
2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Great. I was trying to make it sound like we just got it up. So
we've been busy.
Confirmed it is MAYker's way. Yeah, definitely RSVP, just so we know how many peeps are there and how many hugs to prep.
Mm-hmm. Pete will be there, by the way.
I will be a guest host.
So I will be out of town. It's
the
weirdest weekend to do this.
Drew Witt will both MC and be a keynote speaker.
At the same time.
He's going to intro himself and then run.
I also heard he's teaching square dancing.
I did hear he's going to teach some classes, but no, he's definitely, it's going to be like I want to speak to your manager situation, except he's going to be, hey, you probably want to hear from the important person here. And then he just like spins around. I'm Drew Witt from Wittworks.
And then he plays his own laugh track.
And then he dances off stage all the way back to Yexus.
If you've ever seen a Drew Witt video, you know he adds his own laugh tracks. Go check him out.
But I don't know if you're telling the truth or not.
So that's
haven't watched his videos? You would know.
No, I don't watch that tripe.
I mean, it looks exactly like Seinfeld. I heard that he just AI generates his own content, like his own script, over Jerry Seinfeld stand-up comedy.
Yikes. I think there might be some legality problems there.
Oh, there are. But I heard that he does all of his editing in a 50-square mile radius area in Idaho in Yellowstone National Park, so he can't be prosecuted.
Zone of death.
The murder zone. The danger zone.
Danger zone.
That's the actual danger zone.
Why are we not calling it the danger zone?
Yeah, listen to the pre-show. You'll know what we're talking about. Let's skip the last 10 minutes. It's just fishing.
So for more fun facts like this, make sure you come out May 17th to the Midwest MAYker Meetup in Omaha, Nebraska. First time ever.
It's gonna be lit.
May.
It's gonna be great.
Can I talk about what else we got going on?
Sure.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Usually it's Brandon, but I like talking. I feel like I haven't talked in forever. We're also giving away something, the podcast, to our patrons every single month.
Friendship.
And that goes without saying. Like
big hugs.
That happens.
Snuggies.
This month, we are giving away an A1 combo. Bambu A1 combo 3D printer.
What comes in the combo? Fries and a drink?
Does it? Was I supposed to refrigerate that box?
Oh, no. By the way, the month is almost over. Like next week,
I know. Next week, we're drawing the winner for the A1 combo. And what comes with that is a Bambu A1 3D printer and the AMS Lite, I believe.
And a bag of pretzel combos.
So you can print multicolored things.
Pizza flavored combos.
Pizza flavored combos are the best thing ever.
They do slap.
As you may or may not know, Bambu is a well-known company in the 3D printing world. They make good printers. So if you want to win one of those, go become a patron.
Dan, I do feel the need to clarify. We didn't technically have the budget for the Bambu, so we actually got the Brambu A1 from Temu. It's a knockoff. It should be fine. Nobody will know.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Dan, how do people enter to win?
Well, you got to be a patron, first of all. So
like a free tier patron?
No, unfortunately, the free tier patrons are not included in the drawing. If you want to win this, you got to be a paid tier patron. And we have 4 different tiers of patrons. We have the I love you sometimes up to the VIP, and each tier you get an extra entry. So the low level tier, you get 1. The next one up, you get 2, 3,
3,
4.
4, 5.
You should understand how that works.
Secret 5.
You can also get extra entries by going to iloveawp.com.
Correct.
This is officially, we officially have too many domains.
Yeah,
I know.
We can't
do.
keep it straight. This is it.
No.
I'm cutting you off.
Are the chairs included.com takes you to the St. Jude page. I don't know why
Right,
I'm not just
okay.
making sub pages for our one AWP domain. I have a problem.
If you go to our St. Jude's page, donation page, which is arethechairsincluded.com, that should be obvious, right? We will give you an extra entry for every $5 you donate. So you can get extra entries that way as well. As it sits, we have a few entries this month.
A couple.
So
yeah,
that's it. That's all I got.
Boom.
Eat.
Oh, I talk now.
Yeah, you may.
Okay. You guys ready?
I'm gonna take a nap.
Lower your voice an octave, Pete. Give me your radio voice.
I can probably do hold on. Does this do anything? No, it doesn't
Nope.
work.
I
I was
changed my
trying
mind.
to do the
I want-
robot sound, but
I
it's
changed
not
my
gonna
mind.
work.
Give us customer service voice.
Hi, yes. So I'm hearing that you're looking for an intro for a sponsorship deal. Great. Well, we have a spot open with Onefinity. So Onefinity's are a fantastic sponsor that we love and adore. We recently had on Storgan, also known as Moan, Stone and Morgan.
I wasn't sure where you were going there, and then I caught it, and then I hated it.
I was trying to mash it up.
That is the worst celebrity couple name ever.
Moan. Well, speaking of things that are that work well together, that is
right.
Onefinity and just everything they put out is just so rock solid. They just released a ton of awesome accessories that are now officially shipping and hitting doorsteps, hitting shops. They're finally able to bring those stock levels up, and everyone's getting their spindles and their other equipment. Super stoked to get my hands on some of it as well. Make sure to go check out their site. But Onefinity is the premier CNC at the consumer level. I mean, they set the benchmark for what a CNC in that tier is, and highly recommend going to check them out. Go check out all their different options. They have a CNC for every size shop, every kind of woodworking you do, and metalworking. Yeah. And they got some, like I said, really cool accessories. They got that bit changer coming out, the new spindle. They got the vacuum table. Oh, I can't wait for my air weights. They're gonna be so light. I feel like I'm working out. And of course, we got the rotary, which Dan's super excited about because he's big.
I am pumped.
Yeah, he's just gonna make spindles all day.
He's gonna twist and shout.
Twist and shout, exactly. So make sure to go check out OneFinityCNC.com for all their wonderful goodies. And of course, once you get that CNC, you're gonna need some bits, right? You got to run that thing. Go check out Bits+Bits, our other sponsor. I just recently ran that the bowl bit from them. Oh my God, I pushed the hell out of that thing to the point where it ripped the tape off the bottom of the piece I was doing. But I was able to push it right up to the top level of what their bits recommend. Dan?
Did you push it real good?
Pushed it real good.
Okay.
Bits, baby. Dun 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 dun.
No,
Can't sing the actual
we're
song.
gonna get a
That's why I did it off beat a little bit.
See, it's okay because we did not different.
Oh no, Braden's having a stroke.
Help.
But all their bits are made right here in the USA. They got super fast shipping, amazing customer service. All their bits are finished with their AstraHP multi-layer coating, which helps the bits run cooler, faster, cleaner, 2 to 3 times faster and longer. Giggity. Giving you the ability to run the bits like Dan runs his life. Dan? Fast and hard. That's right. Use code AWP for 10% off your order. at bitsbits.com, baby.
Go check it out.
Go check it out.
Nice.
Gotta get some. Actually, gotta pick up some bits.
All right, cool. Well, that was a great episode. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week. Wait, hold on.
No, we're not done. No. See, that was a teaser.
It's the
You
teaser.
almost had him. Somebody was reaching for the radio. Put your hand down, Brim.
Don't
we're
touch
not
that
done
dial.
yet. Don't touch that dial, old man. How
Back in my day.
you're older than we are.
Hey, back in my day, we had to listen to our podcasts uphill both ways in the snow.
In the snow.
I had to do that last week in Nebraska.
Yeah, then we had to turn to side B.
AWP in black and white.
Well, why don't we jump into, I guess, let's do some MAYker news. And I
Ooh.
definitely have the button totally ready.
Good news, everyone!
Do we have news?
We have a little bit of news that we discussed today.
Well, Dan is excited to drop his new video and rap album.
Oh, you're just gonna.
Well,
my
actually,
rap
we
album.
we kind of breezed over. You did a shop tour video. I don't remember if we actually talked about it. We kind of breezed over it one week, and then maybe we brought it up. But go check out Dan's
do you
video.
Have questions for my shop tour video?
No, just
How many iterations of shop arrangement did you have to go through before you finally got to here?
I didn't
Oh,
stop
God,
till
I
Sutton
lost
was
count.
happy.
I've
Yeah.
lost count.
How many OSHA violations are in that video? It's like Where's Waldo, but where's the crime?
At least Dan, you reposted an old video recently, and I'm like, at least he's not wearing flip flops all the time.
Yet.
But also, it's not summer.
We hit the
yeah, I
we
know.
hit
I
the
just-
70s today.
Yeah,
so.
that was
yeah, it's coming. Don't
my
worry.
first reaction.
I'm
At
not
least he
going to
doesn't-
stop.
No, wait, that's right.
I'm just counting the moments until I can wear flip flops all day, every day.
I just
I
hope
haven't-
that you start wearing the steel toe ones that we got you.
I will never. I will never.
Steel toe flip flops. Steel toe Crocs.
No,
Technically,
I will
they're
never
in-
wear Crocs. First of all, you'll never catch me dead.
I can't
Not even
wait.
dead.
End
I
of this
kind of
year.
want to get a pair of Crocs, but I can't justify paying because the basic ones are the most expensive ones. All the weird ones are cheaper. It's
You
weird.
realize we're talking about Crocs now in MAYker
Yeah.
News.
Yeah.
Well, there's
the hell is
zero
happening?
chance. There's
It's
zero chance
safe.
that I'm going to wear Crocs unless they're the Lightning McQueen ones. Ka-chow.
By the way, I do love
do
all
we
those
have
videos
any
that are
actual real MAYker news?
woodworker struck by lightning when milling lumber, and it's like you're waiting, and it's just like ka-chow. And
I
it's
hate
the
those
Lightning
videos so
McQueen.
much.
It's so good, so good.
They get me every time. I hate them.
Well, okay, so there was a little bit of MAYker news that's kind of popped up, maybe it's not even MAYker news. Maybe it's MAYker extra. It's like the
I like that, yeah.
celebrity
MAYker drama.
type stuff, gossip columnist. There's some MAYker drama. There's did
There
you guys
is.
see Logan Newman and what's his name from Crafted Elements going back and forth about someone stealing a design of somebody else's and producing a product that was similar or a blatant ripoff or inspired by, call it what you will. They went back and forth. Somebody's mom got involved.
What? Stop.
I-
What?
Did not
I
see
kinda-
that part.
Dude, I kind of wish that he was kidding, but we're not gonna go too into detail. Go check out Logan Newman Specials site. Also check out the other one if you want.
I thought
Uh,
Logan just posted something in his story. Did he make an actual post?
He made it real, but he pulled it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he did initially. He talked about it in his stories. The Crafted Elements responded, and maybe they responded we know Logan, right? And he's a pretty chill dude.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing got blown up more out of the proportion because of the reaction of both the community and I'd say both parties, but more on the Crafted side. I'd say definitely more on that side. And it's just one of those things that it's a shame that this all happened. And there was one other time where someone and tree chopping wood bird themed tool company stole one of Logan's designs. And but the thing is, like, that kind of ended up blowing over in a way because they just stayed quiet. I think anytime someone rebuttals and hits even harder back, things tend to just kind of blow out of proportion. You know? Like I call it the Odie's effect.
Yeah, when somebody decides to double down or just keep going, things go awry.
But
of all the products for like this to happen over, this one felt like weirdly, like when I started, I heard the story and started like trying to figure out what was going on. Finding out what it was that was, allegedly copied is something that's also available to 3D print. That, like, there's hundreds of different versions of it. Like, it's a pretty common product. I mean, heck, most of us have made them out of different materials, other materials. Like,
I got one floating around my shop that I made out of
3D printed ones. I have a wooden
maple
one
or something.
I don't know why we're dancing around this. It's a cutting board foot drill guide. Basically, it lets you inset your screws for different cutting board feet to different depths, and it's just a jig to
make it a little bit more efficient, where you don't have to measure it and you just pop it on the corner and boom, boom, boom.
Measure.
So, I mean, there's a whole conversation that could be had again. Dude, about
we've had entire episodes on this.
That's what I was telling Brandon today. Brandon and I went to lunch, and I was like, we've talked about this ad nauseum.
Thanks for the invite.
Several times.
I didn't want to
difference between ripping it off and being too inspired, and where do you draw the line? And
yeah, I didn't want to invite you because I thought this was the time that Dan was going to finally sack up and kiss me full in the mouth.
I'm working up to it.
Well, it was weird because it was weird.
He's a shy boy.
Yeah, Sutton was with us.
Sutton was watching.
Although kiss you while Sutton's there.
He had his headphones on.
This used to be about woodworking.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's a really thin line to walk between inspiration and just blatant, I don't know, ripping off.
And
it's a great
design like that is like, it's an intuitive design. I mean,
yeah, well, they're already out there. Like, there's hundreds of different versions.
I've seen other people talk about how that person has taken other people's designs and ideas. So, like, whatever.
Did you see his response to, I think it was today?
No.
That basically kind of leans into that.
That's the thing. I backed away. I was like, you know what? I can't keep my own text messages straight.
I'm going to be honest. I've seen drama come out of that page before, and I unfollowed them, I think, back then. So I haven't seen much.
First off, I learned that you can post reels that are like 8 minutes long, apparently. Like, this thing just never ended. And that unrelated. But I mean, he basically came out and said, if I'm going to keep getting accused of like stealing people, like makers' ideas and things like that, end of the day, I'm good at marketing and production. Maybe I should just lean into it. And if I see products that are out there that can be improved or done cheaper or whatever, maybe I should just start leaning into it and just become a marketing and production company.
There you go.
And stop worrying about, at the end of the day, business is business. So I can understand. It's kind of a rough around the edges approach to that idea. But I mean, end of the day, he's not wrong. There's not really any new ideas under the sun. Targeting is a little aggressive, but I mean, end of the day, we're all kind of making the same things that are all slightly different.
I was literally about to say save the drama for your mama, but literally a mom got involved in this.
Mom got involved. Mama's here.
What is that in reference to?
Logan's mom commented.
And the other person rebutted, calling out said person's mom.
Well, no, he didn't call her out. He tagged a bunch of people that were brigading his post. And
so he was tagging people.
Then there was a response that said, don't tag my mom. And he came back with, tell her not to, you should have a conversation with her. She's the one that got involved. End of the day, the fact that his mom was
so involved. Like, he didn't know it was the mom. He's just tagging accounts that were Oh,
Who
man.
knows?
Most likely,
Who
yes.
knows?
Okay.
Extra,
okay. I think
extra.
it made it sound like he was like just straight up targeting Logan's
Hey.
mom.
Hey, your mom.
Hey, it's better for this story if we say mom. His mom he just straight up brutally attacked via messages.
I think we should have Mario Lopez do this segment next week.
But man,
Yeah.
what like how quickly something like this will escalate, right?
Mhm.
Listen,
And also
Drama-
the community, am I right? Like just was like, oh yeah, let's just do it. Like, we're on it.
well, I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing about this community. I mean,
we're
we kind of all got
aggressive, no
each
shame.
other's backs, you know. So like, you know,
I mean, we've had instances like that too, where somebody will make a comment on a post or something like that, and suddenly there's like 15 responses about how that person's you're just a dumb idiot.
yeah.
Just tell us you're broke without telling us you're broke.
I wonder what you're talking about.
Well, I guess. I don't know. Do you have anything else about this subject? Go look into it.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think we already gave it more time than it deserves.
In other news, Dan did some math live and in
I
person.
was gonna do that on what's on my bench.
Oh
he
yeah,
did
yeah,
some, he did some math and he tagged somebody's mom while he did it.
we'll get into yeah. It's like +5 carry the mom. All right. Do we have any other news? I feel like there was something
Actually,
else.
yes. Bamboo.
Oh,
dropped
yes, that's
their
what I
big
wanted to
new
talk about.
printer.
Actual
Yes.
news.
I thought that's what we were going to talk about.
Oh yeah. I thought you were alluding to the thing that Braden jumped on. Yeah. So Bambu finally released their long teased and awaited H2D, which is not a type of water, and it is a dual extruder, larger format 3D printer with an optional laser, 10 or 40 watt, plotter, pen holder, fabric cutter. Basically, they
Wait,
built
what?
a
All
3D.
all in one?
They built a 3D printer laser Cricut with the format of just the bed. You put different beds in depending on what you want. And the crazy thing is, if you just want the H2D dual extruder on there, you're looking at $2,000. All right, cool. Dual
Holy
extruder,
moly.
great, because you're able to have two colors in there without almost any poop coming out. So you're actually saving a lot of filament. But if you try to be like, yeah, I want everything.
So two
You do the whole-
extruders, one cup?
Yep. If you want to do the whole kit and caboodle, you're looking at like $4,700.
Good Lord
Like all the
almighty.
attachments and everything. As soon as I was like, I'm all for the dual extruder, but as soon as I saw the laser, I was like, this is going to be a disaster because it's going to invite people to
Start
Here's the
fires.
if anyone that has a laser, especially one that is open, like those Ortour lasers or whatever, you know how much stuff can stink. Acrylic,
Mhm.
plastic of any kind, like engraving that smells really, really bad. And there is an optional fume extractor you can get that's
course there is.
$700.
Good Lord.
Yeah, but it's not something that's just like very obvious. It's just kind of there. And obviously, there is people who are like, oh, it has an internal filter for like when you're printing. But my other thought is, think of how much residue is created when you laser. Like the inside of my laser needs to get cleaned fairly regularly. My honeycomb is like sticky from the wood and the other stuff that I cut on it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just thinking of all of that on the nozzle, on the sensors, the camera, the rails. That's kind of my 2 cents. I'm really excited about the machine, but honestly, I'm not jumping to get one.
I'm going to be honest. It seems like they just tell me if I'm wrong. It seems like they decide, hey, this is the price point that like this is what we want to sell this thing for. What are we going to do to make it worth this? Let's start chucking stuff that's controlled in the same way and call it good. But I mean, in that size format, because even it's a larger format 3D printer, but it's still like 350 millimeters by 350,
And
something like that.
here's the kicker. It's 350 wide,
Okay.
but because it's two extruders about an inch apart,
Oh,
the
you
left
lose.
extruder can't go the last 25 millimeters. You can't print on
Can
that.
you convert that to inches for me?
It's roughly about an inch or so. you can't print the last like inch on each side with the other side's extruders. There's ways to like slice your projects differently and run with like 2 AMSs, one going to each extruder to like use the full bed if you're doing multicolor. But it's a little gimmicky. And again, it's cool. I like what they're trying to do. I just think it's like throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
I'm all in on the dual extruder. I think that's going to speed up a lot of prints, especially even just like the two extruders, not doing different colors, but doing PETG and PLA, so you could do supports.
Yeah,
I think it'll save a ton of time. It's fantastic. But like, yeah, the laser, the Cricut cutter, anybody that's going to be using those two products, especially to me, the laser, who's lasering stuff that's that small?
By the way, did you see some of the other add-ons you can put in there that you can buy?
A subwoofer,
a fire extinguisher, fire suppression system,
with a
Bambu tank. Yeah, there's a tank that goes on the bottom and the back, and runs to the top. And what's funny is people were laughing at Prusa when they released their enclosures for the printers, and you could have gotten like it was a chemical
sprinkler system.
It wasn't a sprinkler system. It was like a capsule that, like, if flames hit it, it explodes and fire retardant comes out. So,
hey,
like a passive system. Show title.
So you could just come downstairs and your 3D printer would just be like the glass door full to the brim with stuff.
Nick? Yeah, just like completely compressed. Like if you've seen Demolition Man when he crashes the car and it fills with foam and it hardens like that.
Yes.
Love that movie.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, we should watch it when we're all hanging out.
All right.
Nick's pool on a projector. Nick, get a projector.
He's got one. We're good.
So Dan, what are your thoughts as a the newest addict?
I had no idea about all the gimmicky things you could add on. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was just a 3D printer with a dual head extruder, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I could see where that would be, nice to have to speed up a print." But yeah, I would never buy it for all the other things. That just seems silly to me.
Oh,
but maybe that's just me, and I don't know anything about it.
One thing that I did like, though, the updated AMS has a built-in filament dryer. Did I see that right?
It does.
Was that not standard in the other ones?
I like that. No.
Huh.
The other ones, you're just like raw dogging the atmosphere.
Plus, okay.
Really?
Do you guys, Braden, do you have an A1 or an X1? Or do you have the old AMS, the original AMS?
No, I just have an AMS for my Mini, so I just have the light.
So I will say
I don't
this.
have any
They
AMS.
improved one thing with the AMS that is, you wouldn't think it's such a big deal, but it is. If you ever get a jam, you have to literally unscrew the cover that all the 4 rolls sit on to then get access to like one part in the back to clear. You have to take out the PTFE tube and clear your clog. That is now exposed. It is no longer hidden behind a cover. So like anytime you get a weird clog, you can actually access it. And to anyone that doesn't have one, you don't know what it's like, but that's a huge pain in the ass of the AMS. So that's a big improvement. Also, the one thing they didn't really explain well is why there's a singular AMS and a 4 AMS. So the singular one, it's a supply dryer. It's a dryer, but it's for more higher temperature filaments. It actually dries at a higher temperature, so it's meant for like more technical stuff or engineering filaments. You know
what has like blew my mind since I started 3D printing? Like you guys said, I'm the carp baby and sturgeon. These things, 3D printers, what you're basically throwing in these things is plastic, right?
Yep.
And you have to dry the plastic?
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
It's actually the more humid or the more moisture it absorbs,
plastic
the more brittle
is like
it becomes.
Naturally hydrophobic, isn't it?
Whoa, you can't say that. It's 2025, Dan. Come on.
Well, you said retardant, so fine.
Guys, we're gonna get canceled here. But yeah, it's counterintuitive because like you hear like, oh, the filament's brittle, like that could be because there's actually too much moisture in it. and you
Wait,
have to dry
what?
it. Yes.
That's not how it works with wood.
Dan, have you ever gotten a nice cold soda pop out of the fridge and taking it out on a hot day and it gets the condensation? That's what it is. It's sweat plastic.
Oh, the plastic is
Sweaty
sweating.
plastic.
It's
Yeah.
not condensation. It's plastic sweat.
Are you being condensating to me?
I think he is.
Always.
Cancel Braden.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm glad you explained it like that to my ignorant
And-
brain. That makes sense.
I think
Anything
it
can get wet, Dan.
try hard enough.
Oh, that attitude.
There is a lot of there's a lot of really cool tech behind it. Between all the lidars, the cameras, the new calibration plate. There's a lot of really
lidar?
cool- yeah, it's there's a truth star already in all the machines, but they added a lidar. I'll explain it when you're older. So they added a lot of cool technology in it, and again, it's a really awesome machine. And if I ever buy one, it's probably going to just be the dual extruder with the AMS. I think that's all I would really need. And
So
it's cool. It's cool. I like it.
with it having LiDAR,
Mhm.
if I buy a giant drone that could lift that thing up, could I fly it over the Amazon rainforest and look for hidden pyramids?
Yes. Yeah, and then you can
Awesome.
find the pillars that the pyramids are standing.
You saw that too, huh?
Yeah. This isn't Maker news, but apparently they detected giant pillars going hundreds of feet or miles down.
600 kilometers.
Whatever.
No,
And then
meters.
Isn't that like 600 kilometers? Isn't that like 3 inches compared
8
like-
giga
yeah,
miles.
Imperial.
I don't
apparently
know
they
what
have
that
some
means.
spiral going on the outside. It's I don't man. I dig it up
Listen,
or I don't.
I like
believe
how
you.
our TikTok feeds are the same.
This is the
This
Mayan.
is the biggest news right now.
This is the Mayan calendar thing all over again. Like this is it. End of the day, you know what? I'm gonna make a point. We messed up in 2015, and everything's
Oh,
been
here we
awful
go.
since.
Braden gave me this lecture earlier.
By
at
the way,
lunch.
did
We
you?
killed Harambe, and everything has been awful since.
That's where the
so
timeline split.
Did you guys watch on TikTok? The Mayan calendar was actually incomplete when they thought it ended in 2012. There was another circle. And
So is this?
Are we
is
going
this-
backwards
No,
now? Is that what's
no,
happening?
No, this is exactly like in Parks and Rec, where the end of the world just the date keeps changing.
It doesn't keep changing. This is the last one because it has like an edge to it. Like it's clearly that like this. There's
Oh,
no,
like the Earth has.
Yeah.
So we
Has an edge.
we've been edging the end of the planet.
Yeah. And guys, get this. You actually won't believe this. This is insane. It just clicked in my brain. The end of the calendar, May 17th, 2025.
Shut the front door. No, it's not.
Yep. Maker Meetup. Boom.
Is it really?
Yeah. Look it up. Don't look it up. Just
We're
we'll see you in Nebraska.
rebranding. We're rebranding everything.
If you're gonna get wiped off the planet, come to Omaha.
Come to
Do it
Omaha,
in
guys.
Omaha, Nebraska, with a bunch of guys that like to talk about woodworking sometimes.
Wow.
Go out, guys. Just go out with a meh. All right, that's the show title.
I'm writing it down right now.
Oh, it's so dumb.
All right. I think that's all we got for Maker News.
God,
God.
that wasn't half of that wasn't even making.
Oh,
news.
actually, we
And
can
the
talk
other
about
half
one more
wasn't
thing.
even
Actually,
news.
What is it? Who'd you make mad this week?
No, I mean, not that I'm aware of. I haven't made anybody mad, but I don't know. I don't know if this has been a recent announcement, but apparently Xtool has a new metal fab machine coming out, where like it's a laser,
Oh, it's a
metal
welder.
laser,
Right.
and a welder all
Yeah.
in one. It's supposed to make welding and metal fabrication like
What?
super easy.
What
Lincoln
is
Electric's gonna be mad.
What is with all of these companies basically trying to be the shopsmith of 3D printing and lasering? That's what they're trying to do.
You know
Actually,
what?
Wait. The H2D is straight up the shopsmith.
It's the shopsmith of 3D printing.
It's so great. So
And I
dumb.
cannot
You
wait
realize
because
Bambu's never going to sponsor us.
Shopsmith is going to come out with an attachment to attach an
3D
HD2 onto the Shopsmith.
It'll be a belt driven because there'll still be a belt on the motor. Belt driven laser.
All right. I will not abide by this shopsmith hate. That is
I'm
an
not saying anything.
innovative
Dan,
machine.
they gave you a hat at WorkbenchCon once, and you've been
Hey.
riding that D since.
That's
I
a
love
lie.
Shopsmith. Shopsmith hit me up. I need another hat
They gave him a hat and a smile.
and a smile.
Dan's so easy to buy. Send him a hat.
That is
Mhm.
true.
Anyway, I don't know much about the Xtool thing. It just came up in my feed, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a
I
thing.
remember that. I mean, there's
Tool gonna give it to you.
Creality now is like sending lasers out. Like they hit us up too about
The
like, oh, you
Falcon?
guys, yeah,
They never responded to me.
never got a response back. But they got that
Falcon
one.
bastards.
Actually, I was at MAYker Center. They had the bigger one there, and I was like, this just looks.
I was just
I don't
gonna
know.
take that Creality Falcon and give it to the patrons after I made
This- we're-
content for
We
them.
do content for you guys. This is for you, for all of you.
I'm gonna start saying yes to all those makeup offers and just start giving those to the patrons.
And for May,
We love your content. Check out our new sweatsuits.
For May's Patreon giveaway, we are giving away 3 jugs of deer and rabbit repellent.
Mm.
The real one I got today.
You got a real one? Did you really? That's so dumb. Oh my god. I thought it was a cricket. I actually got really excited, and it was some like Qijing like cutting machine or whatever. It's like, oh, this is just a straight up knockoff. Like they didn't even like try to have a unique name. It's just whatever generic Chinese brand company name. That's it.
Liquid fence.
Ooh,
Fence deer and rabbit repellent spray.
liquid fence.
We even worked out what the content we storyboarded it, came up with the script. It was horrible, and the people next to us at Wendy's
We can't talk
were
about it in
not
public.
happy. We saw some looks.
I like woodworking with my doors open, but the deer just love sawdust.
There was
Not anymore.
Dan,
Yeah,
there's
I
no
won't
way
even-
you can reference
Yeah, I
it.
can't.
without it
No,
being
guys.
awful.
This is rated TN 17.
Poor Sutton.
All right, I think that's it for news, right?
okay. Yeah, let's stop.
Let's
Before somebody
hey,
gets in trouble.
yeah, let's do this.
What's on my bench?
Dan, since it's your beautiful velvety voice and we haven't seen you in a month, what's on
Has
your
it-
bench, Dan?
Has it been a month?
No, you
Yeah.
came back 2 weeks ago for a quick little
Gave us a
onesie,
little taste.
Quick little
Yeah.
jaunt.
little D.
Little booty call before you headed out again.
Yeah, so as referenced earlier, I did drop a YouTube video a couple weeks ago. And in that video, I was like, hey, I'm dedicating right now that I'm gonna do this every week, and missed
That
it.
lasted 0.75
Missed
weeks.
it. Well, here's the thing. Sutton and I shot a video, and then I had to promptly leave for spring break. My wife wouldn't wait around, so we went on our spring break vacation to Colorado Springs, which was very nice. But I never got around to editing and uploading the video. It's shot and everything. I've got it like 75% edited. I still have to shoot the final scene. Big final scene. Huge final scene.
The Michael Bay.
Yeah, there's going to be explosions and
Just waiting for
J.J.
some budget
Abrams
money to
like
come through.
light beams and stuff. You're going to love
The
it.
treadmills come tomorrow.
How much did Linkin Park charge to get that one song?
What do you mean?
What I've done. The
Michael Bay
Transformers one.
that's the whole the Michael Bay meme with the
We'll show you when you're
subtitles.
older.
Yeah, I don't follow.
Oh
This-
man.
Do you even internet?
No. The internet's the devil.
You know what, Brayden? I got an idea for you for a post. It's Dan going, wait, time out. I have to poop, and then just cut to the Michael Bay.
Why do you guys hate me?
Dude, I'll
So-
send you the poop clip.
Michael
One of the
Bay
many.
poop.
No, just we have no. Brayden, we learned our lesson.
Pete's got a
Elaborate.
library of clips of those.
No,
It's-
I have a library of short phrases on pieces of paper that I don't know what they mean the next morning. Flesh it out. Storyboard it.
Michael Bay poop.
Oh my god.
Pete send Michael Bay poop.
okay. Continuing my bench
Oh yeah, Dan shot another video. Go on.
of family and I went to Colorado Springs. We stayed in a very nice Airbnb that had this beautiful view of Pikes Peak. I enjoyed going out there and staring at the mountain, having my coffee. Had a hot tub and everything. It was just great. While we were there, it actually snowed, which was crazy. Spring break. We're in the snow. But at least we weren't in Nebraska in the blizzard, which is nice. Then came back and oh my God, I'm so far behind on orders. Everybody's shocked and dismayed. But why are you guys texting me while I'm trying to talk? You were screwing me.
You're being rude, Dan.
Danielson.
Hold that down. Yeah, I came back and Sutton and I hit the ground running because we were so far behind. I should have had Sutton working while I was not, but instead Brayton stole him and had him house sit.
No. You gave him the week off before I even asked him to house sit, and he still could have house sat while working for you that whole week.
Yeah, he did. I gave him the week off with pay. Even like, what the hell?
Sutton's
He
got
didn't
better
do a damn
benefits than
thing.
I do.
He does. Sutton's got good benefits. I like Sutton. I like Sutton better than some people.
Sorry, Pete.
What else? Oh yeah. So while I was in Colorado, I was messing around with some advertising apps, or not advertising apps. What AI apps that creates like ads for my products and stuff. Because one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to drive more traffic to my website so I can get away from Etsy a little bit, because the Etsy fees are ridiculous. They will eat you alive. And so I created some ads and stuff, and I promoted some videos on TikTok and Instagram. And one of the videos I promoted on TikTok was my slide table. It's basically just a C table that's put together with box joints. It's made out of solid walnut. And I got a lot of hate comments on there on TikTok, believe it or not. I thought everybody on TikTok was nice.
It's because those tables are junk.
To be fair, you did steal that table design from Patrick Hensel.
Damn.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Yeah, but
This
the
is mine
reference
design.
made no sense otherwwise.
Yeah, well, whatever. Shove it up your butt.
Wow. Another crafted has been slide with machines.
I will not partake in this. So I got a lot of hate comments on there because it has a direct link to my website where you can see the price, and the price of that table is $375. And I just got fed up because I got like several comments. One said I was robbing people. One said, you're crazy. It's not worth $30. Just comments like that. And I left them all up. So if you want to go to my TikTok, you can see those. You're just going to have to go back like a couple videos. So I made a response video and I posted it to all those social platforms, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It was a 6-minute long video, just like breaking down exactly why it costs what it costs.
Doing math.
Doing math. Yes, thank
So you need to get a faster calculator next time.
Sutton is very slow. Very slow.
I have some context on him doing the math. Dan, do you know how he was doing the math?
No.
He wasn't using his calculator. He was typing the equation into Google search.
I knew it.
What the heck? Was he really?
He told me
I had
that
no idea.
He told me that yesterday. He was like, I had no idea this was going to be like a whole thing and we were recording it. So I was just doing the math.
That had every vibe of like Dan out of nowhere just going, that is Sutton anytime now. And Sutton just going like, I didn't know I was supposed to do this. You didn't say anything, Mr. Dan.
I thought he knew. There was a point in that video where he goes, are we still doing this? So that explains that now. Okay. But
Also, Dan, I will pause you for a sec. In case someone goes to watch that video and you didn't know, Instagram finally brought in if you hold on the top right of the video, it will fast forward the video.
yes, yeah, it's a six minute and some change video. So
Yeah, so
I
it's a
tried
short
to
film.
make it as tight as possible. I did. I even sped it up in my editor to 1.25 because I knew it was long and I talk slow.
I could tell you don't usually have that much energy.
No. Oh. So yeah, I made that, and I even got some shitty comments on that video. I don't know if this is like one of our buddies that made a new account just to troll me, but I pinned this comment to the top because I was like, you got to be kidding me. It said something like, so basically you charge people 10 times as much so you don't have to get a real job. I was like, bruh.
What?
Bruh. Yeah, that's on Instagram. If you go
That's
check it out,
so
I pinned
rude.
that comment to the
As
top.
opposed to your fake job as
Right?
an influencer.
Anyway, that's basically been my 2 weeks. This is my 2-week notice, by the way.
Did you want to talk about getting stoned?
Oh God, yeah.
Technically, we call that getting Morganed.
Huh.
We dislike more right now.
Yeah. How was your vacation?
Okay, so yeah, back to the vacation. We had a great time. We were there for 5 days, I think. And the very last night, I'm laying in bed, go to bed early because I know I got to get up early and we got to drive home, and I'm going to drive 9+ hours home. And I start to fall asleep, and then suddenly I'm woken up by a sharp pain in my abdomen area, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
Your
Because
abdomen.
I've felt this pain before. And the last time this happened was about 2 years ago when I was in Minnesota. I wasn't home then either. It was
Is
a
it the
freaking
hot
kidney
tubs?
stone. I don't know. I wasn't in a hot tub in Minnesota, I don't think. No.
Got to drink more
I-
water, Dan.
I drink
heard
a lot of
every
water
tub you're in
and
is a hot
coffee.
tub.
Coffee is made with water. So,
Spoken
That
like
is-
a college student.
That is true. I checked.
and I haven't had a drink since like October. So
So it's just coffee for months now.
I've been drinking so much coffee, you guys. It's ridiculous. 4 or 5 cups a day. Easy. Yeah, so I had to drive myself to the hospital at like 2:33 in the morning, something like that. Luckily, just out of pure luck, our Airbnb was literally 1 mile from a hospital. So even though like I could barely walk because I was so like lightheaded from the pain, because if you've never had a kidney stone, let me tell you, it's worse than childbirth. And I know I've never given birth,
I was
I
just saying,
apologize to
but
our
come at me.
your
mom
Come at me.
listeners.
Dan, please
Come at me. Look it up. It's on the internet.
Please, just
The internet
for
does
anybody-
not lie.
For anybody listening, he is specifically saying, "Come at him. Come at Daniel
Yeah,
Dunlap
should.
Woodworks. Do
Daniel
not come
Dunlap
at AWP.
Experience.com. Yeah, not
AWP
us.
does
It's
not
awful.
certify. We do
Awful.
not support, and we do not recommend these statements."
Yeah, Dan.
So
That's what
I drove myself to the hospital. They drugged me up. I passed it at the hospital. Thank
Did
God.
they shoot it with lasers and then
No,
You
it wasn't
pooped it
that.
Yeah, but
They
from
said
the
it was
outside,
2 millimeters big, and I was like, "What? What does that mean?
I
Can you-
do, welcome to America. How big is it?
What is 2 millimeters?
that's like a foot?
How many football fields?
How many bananas? School buses.
How
So
much-
does
What's
so
that
now,
in Fahrenheit?
so now that you passed that, does your exit look like one of those cartoon shotguns where they like put the finger in the end and
Oh yeah, it's all flared out. It's a disaster down there, you guys. You don't
it's
even.
not a flared base, it's a flared top.
I'll send you a picture.
No. Just like that. No photo.
So that I'll put it in the Discord. This is another perk of being a
Not
patron.
Discord. It's Discord.
just AI generate it.
Brayden, you went on spring break vacation.
I
Talk
did.
about it.
I went on what sounds to be, other than the fact that I was also not in Nebraska, I went on the opposite spring break that Dan did. I had no snow. I went to Cancun, baby.
You could have had snow there if you tried hard enough.
No, it's not. It's actually it's illegal there.
I mean, it's illegal here.
Yeah, well, but yeah, it was fun. Aretha and I decided to go because I can't remember if I talked about this, but I am on my 3rd week in between jobs. It's been fantastic. This whole like not working thing is phenomenal. I highly recommend everybody does it.
Yeah, I don't have a real job apparently, so yeah,
That's
I highly
true.
recommend
I got to be Daniel Dunlap every single day for the last 3 weeks with no job or no real job.
Wow.
So in the middle of that, we went to Cancun, and it was kind of a combination. We haven't gone on vacation that was not tied to work in like 3 years. This month is Aretha and I's 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then also,
So is she like blind? Like, what's the deal?
She's not blind. She got hit in the head by a baseball
Say less, fam.
10 years ago, and she was very confused. And
She's
I
been
told her
living the same day over and over. This is a 51st stage situation.
I told her I was rich and famous Ben Affleck.
Are you like a live-in nurse situation?
And then also Aretha had a big birthday, like a big deal birthday, not like she's not like 80 or something like that. So this was kind of like
30.
She's 30. So this was kind of
did I
our way
nail
to
it?
celebrate
30.
all of those things, and also because it's like right in the middle of leaving my old job and starting the new job. My brain wave was just a flat line the entire week. It was phenomenal. I don't normally drink other than special occasions, and turns out all-inclusive resorts is a special occasion to me. So I
I can get
maintained
down with that.
like a light buzz the entire time. The weather was like 80 degrees every day. It was perfect. We had room service. You couldn't walk 20 feet without tacos somewhere.
Yay.
Um,
Let me ask you this.
yes.
Were you inundated with like college spring breakers?
It was spring break and it was a family resort, so there was a lot of young people there. Guys, let me tell you, have you ever looked at like pictures of you younger and be like, yeah, we're definitely young, especially like in the 90s, the 80s. We looked young because we just looked kind of insane, like
Yeah.
corduroys, overalls. Like
I remember the days when I could take my shirt off and just not think about it. It was
the
just
kids
a thing I did.
these days, they are putting something in the water. These teenage men, teenage boys are every single one of them has a six pack, and they look like Hollister models. And I felt shame in my body. Not enough shame to stop me from living my life, but like every single one was like 6'6". It's crazy.
So much like Nick Brim's pool, you kept your shirt on when you went in.
No, I was there to get a tan.
Did you
Hey,
did you swim in the ocean?
It's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. People
Oh, I like that. That's good.
people were swimming in the ocean. I do not swim in the ocean because
So
that's where the aliens are coming from.
I was wondering if like you had a run in with a fish or anything.
I did not have a run in with a fish. No.
Get stung by a jellyfish?
Is that what happened?
I did pee myself. No, that's a lie. I'm sorry. The joke was there. That didn't happen.
I couldn't fish.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, all inclusive is the way to go. There's no surprise bill the end where they're like, oh, hey, by the way, your dinner was $400 because you kept ordering stuff. That like, it's just
You might want to go on a
like
diet
Korean
when you get
barbecue?
home, fatty.
and you're just done. Yeah, you don't have to worry about a Korean barbecue bill at the end of the trip. It's just all right. How was your stay? Was it great?
Apparently, there's almost no all-inclusive in the U.S.
Correct. They can't
very
afford
few.
it.
All in the Caribbean, Mexico, like
I think
the fun places.
there's one in Hawaii and one in like Key West. One.
Yeah, my understanding is that the cost of running one in the United States and with like U.S. labor laws, which let's be honest, give us 2 weeks, we'll find a way to get rid of those. Kind of make it just like a non-starter.
Labor laws are DEI.
Yeah.
Can someone just say OSHA's DEI so we can get rid of that?
Listen, it's been a rough time. We're joking, but
we have to laugh so we don't cry.
A lot of Aretha's job is based around like the CDC and a lot of health programs that help people in rural areas. Oh boy, buckle up, everybody. But anyway, so yeah, the vacation was great. I finished a couple days ago. We got back. I finished up the bed frame, and so that is done. I waited like the legally mandated 20 minutes for the finish to be like dry before I hauled that thing upstairs and started assembling it. It is rock solid. We did a lot of math kind of guessing based on the mattress height to make sure, because both of my girls are shorter, and so if we made the bed like too tall, they weren't gonna be able to get in comfortably. Guys, I put the bed, I got the mattress up, I made the bed, like put the room back together, and Aretha, come take a look at this. Guys, I got wow, that's really nice.
Wow.
Wife approved.
Nice. That's real nice. That's all we live for, right?
Yeah, just aw, good job, bud.
Oh, good. You did the thing you promised me 2 years ago.
Hey, listen, I'm a man. I remember when I say I'm going to do things, I don't need to be reminded once a year that we don't need to have a box frame on the bed or on the ground.
Yeah, mattress on the ground. It's like, that's how you live.
It's fine.
It's best. Yeah.
So, the only issue though is the way that I designed it pushes the mattress off the wall like 2 or 3 inches. So now, today, I started learning something new. I'm making a headboard, and I've never done upholstery. So now I'm doing that.
Padded, and, you know, a couple like O-rings on the sides for clipping things.
Yeah, for like the running
For
like a
science.
power cord for like
yeah.
Hanging up my snapback. I remember doing some stuff like similar to upholstery, and it's always been like grab a mattress, like one of those egg carton foam mattress toppers, because it's cheaper than actual upholstery foam. I remember picking up a couple of those and then being like $15 back in the day, because they're garbage. You're just buying foam. They're like 20, 30, $35 these days. Like, they got crazy expensive. It's like plywood in 2020.
I think you could drive down almost any back alley and probably find one on the ground.
Yeah, but the problem is those come pre-funked, and
they come
Well,
pre-combed.
you're gonna wrap it with whatever, so it's fine.
that's the thing.
It'll
though.
be all right.
It's all permeable, like, because it's all textiles. It's not
Right.
wood.
Put a coat of plastic on it. Little wrap it with a little plastic.
You know
And
what?
then put
I'll soak the entire thing in shellac.
Just put like a giant like headboard condom on it. It'll be all right.
Did you know that when you remove
Gonna
an old
write that.
mattress from a house, it's way heavier than it was when it went in, because all the body oils and other stuff
Because
goes
of the
into it over
goo?
the years. All the goop, the human goop, gets in there, man. It's gross.
I can't imagine how heavy my bed is now. All the things I've done, all the fish I've met.
Well, turns out there was a line. I found it. Hey guys, do I need to turn in a formal 2 weeks notice, or we good? Just like, I'll just log off.
Quit!
now?
Quit! No,
don't
you're
wanna-
fired.
You can give us a 2-week notice, and tomorrow we're just going to be like, you know what? You can go.
Yeah, we thank you for your service.
We're good.
Gross. Dan's mattress goop is a show title, but not for this show.
Nope.
Some other show.
That's my other podcast.
We'll let Shop
But-
Sounds have that one.
Yeah. So other than that, I'm finishing up. I've posted about the my 3D printing little station. I've put together the third of 3 cabinets. I found some remnants from that kitchen island that were the wrong size for that project, but they were too big. And so I was able to cut them down and I just had a cabinet, like carcass, just sitting there ready to go. So that was real nice. That's why you never throw away scraps.
Yeah.
I do think you should take the cabinets that you have for your 3D printing station
Mhm.
and put not a traditional toe kick, but like a foot tall toe kick storage to put some drawers in there, all the filament at the bottom, and then you can put printers in all your cubbies there.
Everybody keeps suggesting that. but
2-tier, baby. Because listen,
The-
I remember specifically in our group chat, one of the many that we're in, you were like, I can't fit another printer. Well, you can if you just go double decker, baby.
No, that's not a thing that I've ever said, because my
I think it
whole
was
plan,
when you
I'm
had
putting-
a sun themed one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
Florida sun.
I had already planned for that. I'm going to put a second shelf above, so I'll actually have 2
So you'll
stacks
have an
of
upper
printers.
decker.
I'll have an upper decker
Nice.
printer station.
I'll allow it. Okay.
Because
Fine.
I want to put
You
a
can keep it at
trash
crotch
can.
level. Fine.
I want to put a trash can down in one of these. I'm pointing like you guys can see it. One of these is blocked. Like, I can't put a full door or drawer on it because it's blocked by one of the stairs coming down into the basement. So I want to put like a false drawer and then put a pull-out trash can in there so that I can stop accumulating poops.
Have you thought about using the toilet?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to flush plastic though because of the sea turtles.
F them.
No, no, thank you.
Wait, I know what you could do with your poops.
Oh God,
Put them in the upper decker.
that's technically
just stack them on a top shelf until they start falling off.
Yeah.
But also the size that the cabinets are, I think it'd be kind of a pain to change out the filament on the P1S because it's on the back. So I'd almost have to build like a drawer to like put it on slides so it like comes out.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I have the P1P and I think it's basically the same exact printer. It just doesn't have the acrylic enclosure and
it's the same thing.
The filament location is a pain in the butt.
That's why you watch the video, because Brayden did so many hand gestures and explanations. It's a visual aid. So.
I talk with my hands a little bit. So yeah,
that's why I get close to you when you talk.
That's what I do. That's because you're gonna open mouth kiss me, Dan.
Hey,
as long as Sutton's not watching.
And you're gonna need a fish mask.
All right, yep. Gonna go ahead and timestamp that one and send it to Sutton. Just hey, this is your boss. That's horrible, and I don't want to talk anymore. I'm just gonna mute and cry. Pete, what did you do? What's on your bench?
I don't want after that. All right. So big news. I ran my CNC. Did a couple of trays. I know it's crazy.
Wait, you're the CNC?
Yeah, it's my favorite table. It truly is. I'm really trying hard not to put my all the ice climbing tools on that table, because that's usually where I store them as they're like go through their different steps.
To be fair, it's a large flat surface.
It is super nice. I actually do my glue ups on there.
Pete, hear me out.
I will
take out your kitchen island and build a taller toe kick for it that's about a foot tall, and then store the ice climbing tools in a drawer in that toe kick. Since you're closer to New York City,
I'd rather just put pots and pans in there.
You want to build up.
I want to build up.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's great advice. That's sage advice. You should put that on a t-shirt. All right. So that's some good hold the wall advice. So I ran the CNC. I had to do laser maintenance. Like a couple weeks ago, I was complaining that my laser was not closing its rings. When I was cutting circles, it just wouldn't align the final whatever. It just wouldn't close the circles. So
it's called karma, Pete.
It's karma, yes. What it turned out being, so I wanted to troubleshoot it step by step. So the first thing I did is I completely cleaned off all the grease and the debris, and we talked about this with the H2D. I cleaned my rails completely off, but took all the schmutz off of it. I've never actually replaced the...
Did anything go off the rails?
Goop. Just all the goop that was on it. So I cleaned all the Dan goop off there on all the rails, cleaned it up, put fresh grease on there, and then sprayed WD-40 on all of the belt gears. Oh my God, what am I trying to say? The parts that actually spin the belts, the doohickeys that the belt spins on. Oh my God, I'm fried this week. And honestly, that alone completely fixed the issue. So there was something jamming up in my linear rails that was probably getting stuck in there, and it was causing some issues with the alignment with the two axes. So it wasn't closing my circles. So just goes to show you, keep your laser clean it up once in a while, get some good grease, and you should be good. I probably should have done that because I've never done that in 3 years. I've sprayed WD-40 on the doohickeys, the round parts.
You're welcome.
Whatever. I seriously can't even think of it right now. But I have not done any kind of grease replacement. So just goes to show you that helps. And I cleaned my mirrors. Dan, by the way, did you resolve your laser issue?
You just reminded me.
Was it the dirty mirrors?
No, bro. It was worse.
What? Did your tube burst?
No.
What was it?
You ready for this?
Was your lens in backwards?
My lens was in backwards. My autofocus was off. And luckily, Sutton went through my shop and like organized everything. So all my laser stuff is now in my drawer underneath my laser. And I was able to find the focus tool. So that's there.
There you go.
And I know how to use that.
Yeah,
Dan went looking for it, and he thought, not where would I put this? He thought, where's the most logical place for this?
Where would Sutton
And that's
put
where
this?
Sutton had put it.
What would Sutton do? WWSD.
And then so that actually got me like 90% of the way there. So the problem I was having, and sorry, Pete, I'm gonna
It's fine. Go for it.
bogart some of your what's on my bench because I forgot to mention this. So I was scrolling through Instagram today while Sutton was working his butt off, and I come across Zach Hess from Double K. He posted a video of him using the Thunderbolt, and he was cutting 1/4 inch acrylic. And I happened to notice in the video he cut it in one pass, and I was like, "Wait, stop the presses! What the heck?" Because when I cut out my bow tie templates, I cut them out of 1/4 inch acrylic, and it was taking me 5 passes at 5 millimeters a second.
How many watts is that thing?
Power. It's 30 watts, but it's supposed to be a 60 watt equivalent.
Yeah, because it's the RF is a finer beam and
right.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Zach, and he's got this same exact machine, and he was cutting it in one pass, 5 millimeters a second at 95% power or something like that. So I was like, what the heck is going on? Because I knew something wasn't quite right with my laser. And even Braden noticed something was a little off when he's over there. He said that the beam was too big or whatever. And I live with it because I basically use my laser to cut those templates out. And I was like, okay, I got to get to the bottom of this. So I did a FaceTime call with Patrick Gensel at Crafted with Machines, and he helped me walk through it. And one of the big things we learned is I had the lens on upside down. I was like, wait a minute, before we start, like, is the curved side supposed to point up or down? He goes, up. I'm like, shit, down. He goes, well, there's your problem.
I would think that the curve points down. So like
that's what I thought.
My lens is glued into the part that actually attaches. So like it's part of that. So I don't even have like a lens. Like if I replace the lens, I replace the whole nozzle.
So I can't blame anybody but myself because
you flipped it at some point.
I did, because this has been an ongoing problem. Like I've always been like, okay, why is it taking so much? And the thing about me is like, I don't like to reach out to the companies for help because I don't want those companies thinking I'm just an idiot. So I'd rather ask my friends over time and just deal with it. So anyways, I had somehow cracked that lens, the original lens. So I bought a replacement lens and I put it in, and I must have put it in upside down.
It's because the lens is filled with liquid and it got too cold in your shop.
The lens is not filled with liquid.
You'll never know.
Full of crap.
And when it cracked, it probably leaked out. You didn't see it.
Yeah, that one was. That's why it was sweating. Condensation.
Should I put it in the filament dryer? Anyways, I got my 90% of the way there, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and email Thunder and Grant, my contact over there. He emailed me back a couple hours later. He's actually on vacation, but he still reached out. So huge shout out to Grant. He said to go into the Lightburn software and drop the kilowatts to 1 instead of like 20, and that solved the issue. So now I can cut through 1/4 inch acrylic in a single pass.
Yeah, where did you change that setting?
You've got 19
in the advanced tab. When you click when you do line in Lightburn, right? So when you're filling out all your numbers, whatever,
your stuff and junk.
Yeah, your stuff and junk and doohickeys. There's a little advanced tab. If you click that advanced tab, you can change the kilowatts. The KWHZ, kilohertz.
It's kilohertz. Okay, so it's the frequency.
I changed it to 121 gigawatts.
You know, that's a metric measurement. You sure you want to talk about it that loud?
I just changed the number and that helped. So
but it was a kilowatt you changed. So
but the number was American.
Right.
Yeah. In American, it's a schmeckel. In
He
European,
changed-
it's a kilowatt.
He changed it from 20 to 1, and that right there, that's America.
No, it was
That's America.
by default. It's clicked. There's a little clicker. It's clicked off, and
Because I didn't realize that laser actually
you had to
a
click it
frequency,
on,
too.
and you override it or something. Yeah. So
Because that's something that I had to deal with the fiber laser, because there's a frequency you have to change
Yes.
as well.
yes.
Yeah.
That's why I have my laser always set to Cat 103.7, so it only lasers in country music.
Light FM.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So sorry.
No,
Continue
that's fine.
with
No,
your
that's
story.
it's good to know. Like for other people that have it, I also had no idea that laser also had a frequency that you change.
Yep.
Good to know. So what did I talk about? Random CNC did the laser maintenance. We did a big push last weekend on the ice climbing tools. So we're halfway done with them and final sanding and everything.
You're halfway
quarter
there?
of them halfway there.
Whoa.
Living on this job right now.
Living on a dare.
And about a quarter of them are laser engraved. I just need to do a couple, it's voids and stuff. I got to fill them with the liquid wood or whatever the filler that I have is. But we're making good progress. Had a couple of guys come through. So like Patrick's actually come out one weekend. He's coming back this weekend to help me finish the job. So shout out to him. Shout out to Jake from JV Woodworks. He helped me out in the shop, and my neighbor Joe as well. They've been great. So really looking forward to having his job done probably this weekend. And then I have no plan for after it. I feel like it was going to take me way longer, so I haven't really planned anything other than that. So we'll see what we got next. And I don't know if I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but Victor Aragama was selling 2 of his prusa printers, a brand new one that he was starting to assemble, and one that had a blob take out the nozzle. And he ordered a new nozzle and just never installed it. And he's getting P1Ss, and he was like, I'm looking to sell it. Here's what I want for both of them. And I'm like, I don't need more printers, but for the price, I just jumped on it. So I got 2 more printers. So one of them's almost fixed up, the one with the bad nozzle, and then I just need to finish building the one that was mostly assembled or half
That shouldn't
assembled.
take you long. You've built how many now?
Yeah, I will actually. Victor's going to kill me, but I'm going to mention it. I picked up the one that was like mostly assembled, and I was like, what's wrong with this thing? It just feels wrong in my hand. Everything was assembled right except the base. The base was flipped. So the long part was in the back.
The lens was upside
The
down?
lens was upside down. And I was like, I just couldn't
I
point it
see.
until he's like, I think the base might be on backwards. I'm like, yes, okay. That's like the itch that I couldn't scratch. And then I was like, yes, that's what it is. Okay. But I mean, because the way I looked at it is one brand new printer and another one that even if I just used it as a hanger queen and just scrapped it for parts,
Mhm.
like it would still be worth it. So, and I'm going to get it working. So not bad. Just been, and as far as the print shop goes, I had 3 machines down, or no, I had 4 machines down at one point. I'm down to just 2 down because I'm slowly repairing them. It's just hard to get in there. Work's been kind of driving me nuts. That's why I sound like my brain's jello this week, because I'm over it this week. I'm so done. I'm hoping that tomorrow's just a Friday, that everyone's gonna get the memo. It's gonna be nice and chill, and I don't have to think beyond the 3 brain cells that I'm expecting to use tomorrow. But that's kind of been my 2 weeks, just ice climbing tools and random maintenance and assembling things, and not a lot of content or anything like that. So I need to get on that, but been busy as hell, and looking forward to this weekend, man. All right, that's it for my what's on the bench. We should probably get into some questions and knock
We got
these
like
out real
50.
quick. Yeah, 50, 15, 5, something like that.
Oh, Black Betty, ram lamb.
All right, let's see what we got here. First one's from Shop Humble.
Hey boys, glad to see you back this week. I have an important maker question for you. So on those late nights you're working out in the shop, trying to catch up on orders, working on new products, what have you, what is your go-to snack?
Gentlemen, Braden, what's your go-to snack in the shop? And you can't say Dan.
Well, now I want to go third because I've got to think of an actual answer. I don't eat
Fish
in the
tacos.
I don't eat in the shop,
What?
which is weird because I eat everything everywhere else. But
You
I
you
don't.
snack all the time. You make me feel like I don't snack enough.
I don't snack in the shop.
It's just on a podcast.
It's on the podcast. It's pre-podcast. It's when I'm inside. It's when I'm working on stuff in here. But like,
When I'm sad, when I'm happy.
oh my god, when I'm trying to fill the void. I don't. Yeah, I don't take it. I think it's because I live a fast and loose life with dust collection, and so if I take something out there, it's gonna get wood shavings, and I've got enough of those in my body anyway because
What's a few more, really?
I'm not like Sutton. I don't believe in this PPE
That's funny.
conspiracy theory.
I'm
I had
fighting
somebody
words.
message me today from my story that said, "Does Sutton shower in PPE?"
That's rude.
To clarify, it was like 80 degrees today, and Sutton's wearing full overalls, a black hoodie,
Well, that's
a
too
hair
much.
bonnet,
Got to show off them skin.
earmuffs, a full face mask, glasses. Like he's got everything possible on, except for maybe, was he wearing gloves? He may have been wearing gloves too.
No, because wearing gloves would not be safe with the spinning tools of death.
I couldn't remember if you showed up when he was gluing up everything.
Oh, because he has nitrile gloves for gluing.
Yeah, he wears nitrile gloves when he's gluing.
Listen, that kid's gonna live forever,
Mhm.
or till next week, because all the PPE is gonna, give him a brain tumor or something like that. But
Yeah, next week we'll learn that PPE is actually bad for you.
I just ordered him a new face mask. It showed up today. He's very excited about it.
he,
It's the one that you recommended, Braden. Thank you very much. It cost me $100.
I didn't recommend it to him. He asked me about it and said, "What? How should I get one of these? Like, what would we do?" And I said, "Get Dan to reach out to the company to send you one."
Nah, I just bought it.
And
I'm
then
I don't have time for that.
He came over the other night and he's like, "So that mask is on its way." I'm like, "Oh, great. Are you guys doing like a post or a story? Like what?" And he's like, "Dan said it wasn't worth the effort to reach out and just ordered. If I ask for PPE, Dan makes it appear." And I was like,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not going to
Dan-
be like, nah, you don't need that.
Dan is terrified to lose you, Sutton.
I just don't want him to die on my watch.
I guess we know who wears the overalls in that shop.
Sutton.
Well, wait, so if you don't have a snack, do you have another like thing you consume, whether it's Monsters, other Pepsi, Diet Pepsi?
There
Of
is
course.
so many cans of Diet Pepsi.
Okay,
just,
so you do have a
littered around
a
everywhere.
snack-esque. I'll expand this to liquids as well.
I drink. Listen, the day that they prove beyond a sliver of a doubt that aspartame is going to put me in the ground, I'll probably drop dead that day because I've got enough Diet Pepsi running through my body to kill a horse.
There's a guy I follow on TikTok, and I don't know why. He's like a health guru, but he's super funny, and he's very pro diet soda.
Really?
Yeah, his name's
I like
Liam.
him already.
If I find he's big into eating beans, and diet soda. Maybe that's why I like him, because he makes me not feel bad about my
I
choices.
feel like that's a lot of gas.
What on earth? What is the health? The health of what?
Fiber.
For
It's
the
all about
love of
fiber.
health.
Dude is just like his guts is just a rock.
Yeah. Next time he shows up, I don't know if I follow him or not. He just shows up in my For You page a lot. I'll send him your way.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I
Dan,
need
what's
that.
your
So,
what's
Dan,
your
what's
shop snack?
Nuts.
Oh, poor Sutton.
I was just gonna let that sit there and marinate for a sec. No, nuts. I like mixed nuts. I like cashews.
You say
I like
Nick nuts? What did I just hear?
Mixed nuts.
Oh, you
Mixed.
have to enunciate a little bit.
You gotta listen.
because I heard Nick nuts.
You got fish lips around your ears.
Didn't we do a clip about this where
I
Dan?
don't know, maybe.
There
I eat
was
nuts.
There was something.
nuts.
where
Oh
I
yeah,
had-
it was this.
yeah,
it
the
was wait.
peanuts.
Making a joke, but I keep a tin of peanuts that I just eat. Like, it doesn't even go up to the kitchen. Also,
Kirkland brand, baby. That sounds amazing. I'm in. What's your favorite nut?
these.
That's my jam, man. You buy them pre-cracked. You don't do that.
Nutted.
It's pre-cracked. Yeah.
What's your favorite nut? D's?
I don't know how denutted didn't make it as the show title for that episode.
I just need those nuts in my mouth. That was definitely not cut together. Also, in the background of that video is Patrick Gensel at my house.
Oh, I remember that now. Okay, yeah. Also, I like de-shelled sunflower seeds.
Okay, yeah. I
like the sunflower kernel.
Yeah,
I put those on everything.
I'm the opposite. Like I like shelled sunflower seeds because
too much work. Too much.
Yeah,
work.
I used to play baseball a long time ago, and I developed a thing. But
it cuts the crap out of the inside of your mouth. I hate it.
I eat enough salt that it's already going to happen anyway.
It's just a barren wasteland in there. Oh.
Why do you guys think everything that comes out of my mouth is garbage? It's because of the wasteland. Pete, what are you eating in the shop? Yours is clean enough to be like a Michelin star restaurant.
Nah, man.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. It's chips, man. Chips and some kind of liquid always. Liquids, plural. There's always a coffee, and depending on the time of day, a seltzer or a beer, and possibly also a water somewhere. Like I'm like triple fisting liquids all day. In the morning, I got my coffee, I got a seltzer, I got a juice. You know, like it's I'm weird. I consume a lot of liquids. This is all water weight, ladies.
Yeah, I guess coffee should have been like
gurgle,
an obvious answer I gave to you.
Dude.
At the end of the week, like I have to round up all my coffee cups and take them inside like this. So I was like, when are you going to take
I
these?
tend to default to the same two, so if they're not in the kitchen in the morning, I panic.
I didn't know that we were going to find out that Dan was a high school boy today. Do you also have silverware out in the shop?
Probably somewhere.
I wouldn't be
It's
shocked.
in the
I may have thrown away a spoon
collection.
or two.
Just like a bowl that he has some soup or whatever, and just covered in dust at this point. He's like, oh, it's fine. It's not. Nothing's happening in there.
Yeah. Oh, we also keep on hand stuff to make s'mores, like for whenever I burn scraps.
I have
Sutton likes
started
to have s'mores.
randomly like adding candy to the shop, and it started because I got the send cut send order, and they put sweet like sour gummies or whatever in there.
Sour Patch Kids.
And then I got an order for something else, and there was Airheads in it, and like all these companies, they just put candy in the stuff you order.
It's their fault.
They're getting you addicted.
I'm getting to the point where like I kind of want something sweet in the shop too. And my sunflower seed is pistachios in the shell. But that's something I need to like eat like actively, and like I can't like just put a bunch in my mouth because it's just rocks.
Speaking of the snack that's way too much work, pistachios is where it's at.
Pistachios aren't that bad. You just do one at a time, but you need a spitting cup. It's like your tobacco, because you got to.
Do they still make those with the red paint on them, or do they quit doing that?
What?
I can't find them with the
Spitting
red
cups
on them.
Pistachios.
Don't you remember when you
painting
could
them?
buy pistachio? I can't say that word.
Pistachios.
When you back in the day when you bought pistachios,
Say municipal pistachios.
shut your.
You guys want to see Dan have a stroke?
They were always red though. They like painted them red for some
and then they
awful
realized
reason.
that lead paint was awful, especially when you ingested it, and they had to stop doing it.
Yeah,
or were they
okay.
dipped in wax like the cheese?
No. They were like literally painted red. It was. I assume it was a food coloring paint. It had to be, right?
Yeah,
Peter, are you looking this up?
I am.
It was a thing. When did they quit doing that?
I don't know, but this article is very long, and it's basically like, why did they stop making them?
Okay. See, I'm not crazy.
Oh, in the 1980s, 1980s saw a decline. Dan
saw a decline. They didn't just stop. They saw a decline.
Yeah, because again, the people dropping dead for unknown reasons with handfuls of
It was
pistachios.
all traced back
was
to the
also-
pistachio intake. Okay. All right. I assume it was bad for you.
I think those were imported from somewhere, and they started U.S. like it was more of a US product after that. I don't know, I'm just skimming through this thing.
I
don't
prefer
know.
my pistachios. Or I can't say that word without like stopping and thinking about it.
Pistachio.
Pistachio. I like
See?
my pistachios red.
Yeah. Like municipality. Just sound it out.
Not saying it.
It's like the Tribe
make
Called
me-
Quest. You got to say the whole thing.
Can't make me say it.
All right. Let's listen to the next one. Next question's from hang on to your shorts. This is a long
Oh,
one.
no.
What's up, fellas? It is Matthew Abelman at _Shop Chef. I was wondering,
Oh, how is it all over the walls?
I'm moving from a 1.5 car garage with a 2-story shed into a 2-car garage where I'm only able to use one of the cars, the garage, half of the garage. I'm moving into a 1-car garage. We're going to pull a Kamani and plastic sheet all the walls so that when I mill my lumber, I don't get dust all over my wife's car. So in an effort to avoid certain death, or even worse, divorce, I'm focusing on dust collection and keeping vertical space in mind. Thinking of my garage in a square unit of measurement has helped utilize most effectively the space that I'm transitioning into. Dan, maybe you can weigh in here, seeing as you now have the Trace Amigos or 3finity plans ahead. What's the coolest setup you guys have seen a CNC setup in? Speaking of a setup, this is starting to seem like one, so I'm gonna get out of here, but keep doing that talking thing y'all do so well. Bye.
Love ya.
I'm gonna be honest. I had to put my head down and try to really focus because I couldn't keep track of all that with my ADHD brain.
What is the question? Because we started talking about dust collection, and then suddenly it's vertical space store. I'm very.
Well, he's building a
confused.
murder room.
You got that?
For murdering
for
lumber, Kamani style. And he's asking about maximizing shop space and cool Onefinity layout setups. I don't know. By the way, Dan, are you going platform with your Onefinities? If you get a third one?
Dan doesn't have
I don't
to
know
answer.
what I'm
Sutton
doing.
and I have already decided for him. Yes, he
So,
is going
Brayden,
platform.
what is Dan doing with his Onefinities? Because I'm actually curious, and now it'll answer the question.
Apparently, it's going to be a triple decker, upper decker.
No, we're gonna double stack because you've got your little.
You can't
platform
triple
there.
stack a double stack.
That's right. You can't triple stack it.
Actually, wait,
You know what I was
no.
doing? You know
Yeah.
the reference. Okay,
That is a great idea because he has the little steps. So
Yeah,
the
he's got the
bottom
step.
one isn't like you don't have to get on your knees to,
get on your knees when
get
you're
the
talking
wood
to
in
the
and
boy.
out. Mm,
Good God,
Dan, we talked about this. Okay.
HR.
It puts
Emma.
the podcast on its skin or it gets the mic again. Okay.
Okay, sold.
But with his little platform, Dan, with your little platform, we're talking about.
Oh,
like
my
he's not
little
here.
platform.
Dan,
I got a
with your
pretty
little-
big
It's a
platform. I don't know if
perfectly
you've
adequate
noticed.
platform.
with your average to above average platform in your shop.
Go
Yeah,
watch
just like-
Dan's shop tour video and then just pay attention to the part where he's talking about his CNCs and how short he looks.
And I just glaze over the fact that they're at eyebrow height.
Yeah. Oh man, Dan's shorter than I thought.
Well, he's also a representative of the Lollipop Guild, so
I'm the mayor.
Oh.
promotion.
Take that, Duffy.
Well, I will say this: as far as like, if you're going to one car garage, high and tight is what you want to go with.
Yeah.
High storage and not as deep as you would think. Like you put a random generic table, whatever, in your shop up against the wall as a bench. It might be up to 30 inches deep. Like that's a lot of space lost. Especially if you put storage underneath it, those are deep drawers, deep cabinets. Yeah, it's a lot of storage, but you're going to lose crap. And you're not going to have as much room to move around. Get some... Dan, those racks that you got behind you, right? They're only like 12 inches deep, right?
15.
Oh, 15? Okay, yeah. Oh, the ones I got were 12. So you get
I
some
got
narrower...
the big ones.
You got the
Pete.
big boys because you're big.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah, the trail boss.
Yeah.
And so you want to get something that's not as wide. So you got some space to walk around, man. But yeah, go up.
Pete, say deep one more time.
Deep.
Thank you.
Deep.
But I
I
don't.
didn't say penetrate.
You got to keep him penetrated.
Speaking as somebody who did have to section off a stall in the shop or in the garage for exactly this reason, don't plastic wall it. Put like a real wall up, because plastic is pliable and can move, and you will find yourself creeping over that space any chance you get. Just build a wall.
Maybe
You're
that's his plan. Maybe that's his plan.
Oh, you're saying
Well, he's
you're
talking about
thinking that
hanging
he's literally
plastic up
just
like
doing hanging plastic. Like
yeah, it sounded like he was building a murder room.
I thought we were building a wall and then doing vapor barrier that makes it look like a murder room.
No, I think he was just
I'm
going to
with
hang a
Braden.
sheet
I
as like
agree.
a
Solid
non-pliable
wall.
Yeah, solid wall.
Maybe that's his plan, though, to start slowly creep over and take over that space. I mean, if that's your plan,
Move the
I've
wall.
I've tried it. It's a bad move, and Mexico will not pay for it.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
No, honey, you can't
Sorry,
have
that's
the other stall.
it's another 80s reference. Sorry,
God,
kids.
what was life like back when everything was just black and white?
Also,
Awful.
Matthew, see if you can get away with storing some of your crap in the garage part of the space.
Oh, I do that. All my
Yeah.
sheet goods are on Aretha's side.
Oh, you
Don't
were
tell her.
sheet goods. I was just talking
I
like
put- if
cans
it's a-
of stuff, some
If it's a
sustainers.
full, if it's a full sheet, it goes on Aretha's side, because it's not. I built her wall. It's not quite wide enough for her to open both doors, so she parks way over so she can open up her and Gabby's side. Sheet goods go on the wall.
Sheet.
Sheet good.
That's good. Yeah, invade slowly like they did to Poland. Anyways,
just Ukraine it. Current events.
all right. Next question's from Alex of the Nebraska family.
Hey guys, so my oscillating spindle sander broke.
Pause.
The plastic housing.
The style of that question, and then also just like kind of the sound of their voices. When I first heard a woman's question, I thought it was an Alex Adams question. Do you guys get that? Do they sound
The similar cadence,
The way
maybe?
similar
He starts, hey, guys.
It's a little subtle, but I don't know if you notice no music in this one. It's subtle.
It's nice because we've got Alex trained, so we know how to answer his questions because we can hear them.
I sometimes feel bad at how much feedback we've given him, but he still
It's
keeps
been
calling
good.
in, so he likes us. Okay.
It's been good for his personal growth.
All right. Again, Alex Adams.
Hey
With love.
guys, so my oscillating spindle sander broke. The plastic housing on the bottom, holding the bottom bearing, broke off, and there's no easy way to put it back on with it actually working well. So fortunately, it'll get warrantied and I'll get a new unit, but I feel like I'm going down the same path that Peter's been down. And I know that he got a new unit, but I don't remember what kind it was. So I'm kind of curious if that benchtop unit has worked well for him. Otherwise, looking for a recommendation on another benchtop oscillating spindle sander that will actually work well over time. By the way, the one that I had was from Wen, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot to begin with.
Way to bury
Okay.
the lead on that one.
Yeah. We're like, oh, which one is it? We're
I
speculating.
assumed it was the rigid.
I mean, they're
That's the one
basically
Pete had, right?
They're basically
There's
the same.
really just like one type out there. Well, there's a couple. There, I think Jet makes one. Is it Jet or Grizzly?
Laguna's
I think
got
they
one.
both make one. Both
Well-
Jet and Grizzly make one.
Listen, the Laguna
the
one. That's a
entry level.
different. That's a different.
Yeah, the
category.
entry level one, they're all pumping out those things out of the same.
Raycon makes one.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of spindle sanders out there are just spindles. So you can get them, but like Central Machinery even makes one, but it's just spindles. There's no belt attachment. And honestly, the
Yeah.
belt attachment that's where it comes in clutch. If you want your, so first of all, the rigid one.
Oh, there's a Triton one too.
Oh, you're right. You're right. The honestly, the rigid one worth the money. It's a great spindle sander. Just make sure when you get it home, check the spindle, because I had one that literally like it made the whole belt like move up and down. Put the belt on because the spindle wasn't straight. Somebody must have dropped it during shipping or something. But it's definitely worth it. It's I think $300, and you're gonna have it for a long time. Keep in mind, like we put like dozens of nonstop hours on this thing. When we're working in a shop, this thing could run for 8 hours straight, and we're pushing on it. So like what happens is the belt will sometimes move up and down, or it'll literally cut into the plastic because the edge will like, it's all plastic parts, you know? But that being said, I beat it up, but the guys I put on those machines that might not be like used to, you know, it's not their tool. When it's not your tool, you don't baby it, right?
Unless you have a Sutton.
Yeah, unless you have a Sutton. And I see these guys like push on this thing, wail on it, like go to town, and they're great. And then the rigid still, you know, they have the warranty too. So I still recommend it. I think it's good. Do not buy the Skeletor version that they had out during COVID of the rigid spindle sander. Have you ever seen that one? Oh, it looks awful. It's the whole body is like not quite there. I'll show it on the camera. It looks like this.
Oh
yeah,
my.
Like it's missing 90% of it. And it was apparently the worst piece of trash ever that they made. So I still recommend it. Apparently it's only $129. What? That's bonkers. Crazy. But yeah, I think it's worth it. But honestly, if you do a lot of spindle work, I swear by a solid like cast iron top spindle. Like I have the Laguna one, and I love the heck out of that thing. I do wish I had more spindle sizes, because when you buy the multi-packs, it comes with different sizes that this thing doesn't have. But I found a way around that.
Can't you just like 3D print something?
So yes, but if you're really pushing on a spindle, that thing gets hot. Like really hot, and it will deform the plastic underneath. That's why having a rubber sleeve is so nice to have in there. So
I learned in Mexico that would be also referred to as muy caliente.
That is correct. 300 points to the Boex house.
Gracias.
Well, Bredon, any thoughts on a spindle?
I don't have much to add. I had the Triton one. It worked adequately. I don't do a ton of spindle work, and then I managed to end up with dear sweet friend of mine Dan's Laguna spindle. And let me tell you, I don't do a ton of spindle work, but when I do, that thing's like 400 pounds. Like it does not move.
It's so quiet too, right?
Spindle's so good. It's so quiet.
So good.
It spindles so hard. Oh my
I would have kept that in my shop, but I didn't use it enough to justify the footprint it was taking up.
Let's be honest. My shop has turned into like 30% Dan storage at this point. So
Dandemonium.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, if you can get if you need a dedicated one, and if he's using it enough, getting one of the higher end ones would probably just be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the bummer is you're buying a spindle or belt. You're not getting both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not with that attitude.
Yeah. And honestly, for mine, like anytime I'm done doing whatever, that rigid gets the belt on it, because I just turn it on for a second and just like rub something against it. You know, just like if I need to clean up an edge. Yeah, and that's it. Like that thing always has the. That's I kind of wish I had a disc one, so I could just like clean up little pieces, little parts once in a while.
I use my joiner almost like a flat spindle sander. Like I'll just run it to like clean stuff up. I'll just run it through a joiner with like just the scotiest taking off.
Yeah, but what if just yeah, there's things that you can't.
I'm not saying that the way I live my life is good.
You can't joint like the edge of like, let's say you cut off some tabs off of something that you cut out of a plywood. Yeah, I'm not jointing that.
Oh no, I keep a flush trim bit in
Fair,
in
that's
one
another...
of my routers at all times. In fact, I want to put one with like a little pop up router table like right next to the CNC, so I can just immediately zip off tabs.
That's one of the reasons I bought that DeWalt router, is just to have another router that just permanently has a flush trim in it.
Milwaukee for the win.
I have all the DeWalt batteries. That's why I went into it. It's not my favorite, but yeah.
I believe that's referred to as a sunk cost fallacy. You can
live your life wrong.
Don't wave your Google degrees at me.
You can change your life for the better, Pete. It's never too late. It's not too late. It's never too late.
Always too late. Dan, did you go?
Oh, hi.
Kindle
No.
Pander?
Uh,
You got a Kindle
my only like use of a spindle sander is the one that now lives in Braden's shop. So that Laguna is really nice.
A drum sander is a spindle sander. It's on its side.
That is true.
I guess technically
And you can
it's on a
sharpen
large
paint
spindle.
scrapers.
It's like if I need a spindle sander, I'll just have Sutton just do this with a spindle in his hands. Back and forth, he's trying to start a fire.
Like a Boy Scout. Faster!
Faster.
Spindle for your money.
Yeah, that was a great spindle sander. I just didn't use it enough to justify the footprint, so I gave it to Braden. Hopefully someday if I ever need to use it, he'll let me use it. So
When you have the bigger shop.
yeah. Well, if I ever get a bigger shop, we'll probably get a shop together. So that's kind of my thinking at this point.
Like
Unless
I said, it's
we
just
hate each
long-term-
other at some point. I don't know. This could go south.
Like I said, it's just long-term storage for Dan stuff. All right. Is that it?
Yeah, no, next question, Malcolm.
There it
Hey
is.
guys, this week my question is about this 10-watt laser that I got not long ago, and I've been doing some experiments with. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I have been engraving my maker's mark onto some veg tan leather. It's done okay. I feel like I've got it dialed in, but the soot, it just stains the rest of the leather if I like wipe it off at all. So I was wondering if you had any kind of ways of dealing with that. I've thought about maybe sealing the leather first before engraving it, or I've also read maybe I could use some soap and water to clean it off. Any advice would be helpful. Thanks.
Dan, you said first, so go.
I don't remember why I said it was so long ago. But I just realized what he was talking about. I think is I've had that issue before too, where you're laser engraving some leather patches and the soot gets on the leather and it's hard to get off. And I find that one of the best things to take that soot off was was those crocodile cloths. Those are actually pretty nice for that. But Braden, you've lasered way more leather patches than I have.
You're wearing one of them right now.
I am, and it looks flawless. So
compressed air. I have access to my air compressor. I've got a line that goes right by my laser. And so before I'll even take it out, I'll just zip, 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 and blow all of that loose soot out. Downside to that is it does lighten your engraving because the soot is what's creating some of the dark, it's the pigment. But I've always found it's not so much, especially with like a 10-watt laser. That shouldn't be burning nearly as much. Like it should be able to burn or darken the material without like actually burning it and charring it.
You can darken it back up if you give it a couple licks.
Gross, but technically probably correct.
It's correct.
So yeah, I use compressed air on all of my leather patches, and then I hit them with the crocodile cloth. Pete, you're the laser boy here. What do you do?
It depends on the leatherette.
Blower.
Well, I actually have never done the air. I mean, I've done the air to like clean some stuff up, but never to like as the final thing. So I got to try that now. I've done obviously taping over it. If you're not doing a lot of it and you're getting really bad results, maybe tape over it and give
but
it.
That would be really a pain in the butt if you have a lot of detail and you got to pick off little tiny bits of tape.
Absolutely,
super pain
absolutely. But masking off is one one option. The other one, so on the subject of Dan talking about the crocodile cloths, I find that if I have a damp cloth, I would usually spray, depending on the material. Sometimes I'll go with the degreaser, like the simple green cut with water that I have in a spray bottle. Another one that's just water, and I have another one that's just alcohol and water. And that straight alcohol is just for cleaning my lenses. But I'll spray that, and then I try not to smear when I wipe that stuff. You almost like dab it. It'll grab a lot of it, flip it over, like close it, and then like clean off whatever you can. You're almost like wiping up off the material. It's back to front.
These hand gestures are fantastic.
So you want to wipe back to front on your leatherette, and That's it. That's the main thing. You're just trying not to smear it. But I've never tried the air schmear. Yeah, I got to try that now. So try different cleaners. I've heard people swear by LA Totally Awesome or whatever it's called. Like it's a cleaner you can get at the dollar store.
Yeah,
I think that's
a lot
what
of
it's called.
people.
Fabuloso.
Not Fabuloso. So try that, but I got to try the crocodile cloths too. The tactical butt wipes.
Mm-hmm. They got a gritty side to them.
I actually wonder how baby wipes would do. I might steal a pack from Juniper.
I don't
tell
know,
actually.
Because we have they're like water wipes. It's just like 99% water.
Well, I've used
acid.
the kitchen counter wipes that you can get, like the disinfectant wipes,
like Lysol ones.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
those. I don't know. They leave residue, like little bits of chemically, but like the rags themselves kind of come apart, like the cotton just kind of like gets stuck. So I would imagine that like baby wipes would have the same problem because they're
You're
soft.
right, because it might catch on the material. Yeah.
Also, don't use crocodile cloths as toilet paper.
Tactical butt wipes.
Don't.
Tactical.
Just
tell us why.
Chemical, man.
It burns.
the chemical sizzle.
Also, there's a gritty side on those too.
And yeah, you're right. It's like wiping with acid sandpaper.
Acid.
Dat acid. By the way, shameless plug. Bidets for life. Go get yourself one.
Get out of here.
Be a better person.
Yes.
Speaking of bidets, Alex Adams again.
Hey guys, I have a furniture piece that I recently delivered and it got a crack in it and I need to fix it. It's kind of a shallower crack and it's not along the grain. It kind of goes across it a little bit. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to glue it up because I don't want to put in too much glue that it squeezes out and gets on the finish and then it becomes an issue where I have to actually refinish it. So I'm just kind of looking for some ideas on how to best fix it without making it an even bigger problem.
The fun fact, he didn't mention it, but it wasn't a question right now. It was an ash crack.
Bidet joke.
Yeah, bidet
ash crack.
There you go.
But he did confirm in the pre-show that the crack was caused by a compression. Like he bumped it on something and it compressed and cracked the fibers of the wood. So it's not a deep crack. He doesn't mention what kind of finish he put on there. That would actually be helpful. I mean, if you did like a Rubio, you could do a spot fix. If you did a polyurethane, that's going to be harder to fix that
Do you
finish.
think he can get away with just like CA glue in there? Some thin?
He can if like he did a Rubio and he wouldn't have to sand the whole thing. Like you could do a spot fix with some of those finishes, like, but like those hard finishes, like those hard polymerizing finishes. Oh my God, can't talk. Like polyurethane and maybe even lacquer, that would be tough to spot finish. You know what I mean? Because I was gonna say, like, if you got like if you take a little piece and you wrap it in packing tape so it doesn't stick, you could fill the crack with CA glue after you like maybe wet it down to like raise up the fibers a little bit and then compress that down with a clamp or something. But then you run into the problem of, spot fixing that finish. So.
And these cracks also, they were not like, it was basically almost like the face of the wood lifting up.
Yeah.
So it's a crack where you could get some glue maybe behind it, inject it in there and like press down. And as long as you don't have any squeeze out, the crack might hide itself in the wood grain and look fairly, clean. What you could also do after that is, if you don't get any squeeze out, maybe hit it with another coat to like seal that and the rest of the table kind of.
Yeah, the crack is so small you could almost just throw a layer of finish on it and see what happens. Almost.
Brayden, any thoughts?
Without knowing what the finish is, I was trying to find the picture. I can't remember what of the 37 different ways that we talked to Alex.
It's in the email. It's in the email.
Oh, it's in the email? Okay.
Yeah, it's the first email from the 26th that he sent.
Got it. I mean, without knowing what the finish is, I don't really have much else to add.
It looks pretty yellow because I'm
It
assuming
looks
the
like he
edge
stained
grain
it too.
could be shellac.
maybe stain. Okay.
Well, if it's stained, then he'd want to be careful because a patch job that would involve staining it again, it's just going to highlight. I would probably just try and sneak in some wood glue and blue tape it down, and then
Or take 1/2 inch off the table.
just cut it shorter. Like the dimensions don't matter. Put in an accent strip.
I actually, the more I think about it, with the stain and how stain does not adhere to glue of any kind, I almost think it would be a better idea to just run another coat of finish over it and see what happens.
Like use
The crack
glue?
is like super small.
Just dab the
Yes.
finish in there. Just
Yes.
let the finish be the glue.
Yes.
I'd pull it up, like I'd just fingernail under it a little bit, and I'd pull it up and I'd just squeeze in some wood glue and then wipe to press it down, and I'd blue tape over it, and I would
I
just
guess
let it dry,
if you
call it good.
squeeze out the glue fast enough, you shouldn't get
Yeah, and you can wipe
too much
it. And
staining.
then
But again, we don't know what finish. You never know. You know.
and then any change in like texture from that crack, I'd hit it with like a brown paper bag and just kind of ease that transition. But it shouldn't be that big. You should be able to get it pretty flush because it looks almost like a chip coming out. So like the piece should fit within itself just fine. I don't know. I'd start over. Just scrap the whole thing. Burn it.
Yep. Do that.
The
That's
dumbest
the
advice.
only real way that way you know everything is right.
That's right. You got to get the haunting out. That's how you got to get the ghosts.
Yeah.
Get rid of the ghosts of projects past.
Yep. That's the science.
Well, speaking of projects past, we're past the time that this project should have taken. We're over 2 hours.
Oh God.
Just a hair over.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
Because we love it and we're just making up for lost time.
Technically, we didn't do one last week, so if we average, we're at like an hour a week. We're doing phenomenal.
You're welcome, Nick Brim. Well, there's some exciting news though. We do have a guest next week.
Hey,
right?
Drew Witt.
No,
that's not right.
No.
And if he cancels, we'll have who?
No, we've got Brian from Built by Bricker. Did I get that right? I'm worried.
You did.
Always worried I'm gonna get one of the
Nailed
B's incorrectly. Yeah, Built by Bricker. We met him at Workbench Con, and I mean we knew him.
Did we?
Pete and I did karaoke
Wow.
with him.
Okay.
So we have we've got a tender.
If you
bond
guys
there.
approve, I'm sure it'll be fine.
He's
Yeah.
Noise.
Dan, he does spell his name with a Y. Is that okay? I know how
Which
you get
one? The Brian
Yeah,
or the Bricker?
Both of them, and not in places
Not-
you'd expect.
Not the one you're gonna like,
Like it's very it's very non-traditional.
but he's
No.
really nice though. So like, I think we'll allow it.
Mm, I'll do my best.
I'll behave.
Yeah, that one should be a good one. He's just under like 30,000 followers. He's got a bunch of he just hit 1,000 posts on Instagram. Which is that's a lot of content, guys. Like that's just a lot.
It is.
It's too much.
And it looks like he's not
borderline
even
too much.
phoning it in on most of it. Like it's actual content.
Wait,
He's not just posting up like 30
Dan's
minute
checking his
math
number.
lessons.
Dan's over
phoning
3,000.
phoning it in is an option? Is that huh?
Yeah, Dan's got 3,000 posts. Congrats. You
I
almost-
was
you just passed
not
it.
I was not checking that.
I want to know how many of Dan's posts have the TikTok watermark on them.
Hey,
Very
upcycle,
few, believe it
baby.
or not.
Upcycle. Let's
I
go.
actually Instagram is my
That's right.
my
Most of
home.
your- most of
TikTok
your
is my
your garage.
vacation home.
your shed, your backwoods shed.
Shit.
It's the wood shed.
Anyway.
She shed.
So we've got a guest next week. That's great.
Yeah, we got a guest next week. We're giving away a printer next week. We're also going to announce the brand new thing we're going to give away that is a secret till next week. Because we haven't decided which one of the many things that we have
Even it's so
on the
secret.
back
Even
burner
we don't know what it is.
we're going to do. And we'll see you all in May for the Maker Meetup. Dan's gonna give away a little tiny trash can.
It's a Luke in the garage bucket. Mini bucket.
Oh, a Luke bucket.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's a 5-liter bucket instead of a
Mhm.
5-gallon bucket. I don't know how metric works. So
I think it might be
mini liters.
mega liters.
Speaking of mega liters, Dan.
Our patrons are mega leaders in
Yeah.
the maker community.
They're all
See what we did
admirals
there?
in a Meh army. Mega leaders.
Look, we couldn't do any of this nonsense without our patrons. They have supported us from the beginning. Before we had other sponsors, they were there for us. So we love our patrons. If you want to get early bird access to the podcast, access to our Discord, other things, you can go to patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast, or simply go to iloveawp.com and get signed up on Patreon under one of our many tiers. And that'll also get you entries into our monthly giveaways for patrons.
Such wow. Much yay.
Noise.
I don't have any words. Okay. Yes. Go check it out. We like the support and we need it.
We love the support. And we
Noob
definitely
Stout.
do need it because we're fragile eagled men.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we'll hope to see you guys in the Omaha Municipality Maker event in the May.
Municipality.
Oh, say Pistachio.
Pistachio.
Attaboy.
Ooh,
Wow.
wow, that was nice.
What am I supposed to do with this thing now? All right, guys. Love you all. We'll see you all next week. Love you. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
Bye.